I've been crying for no reason, but the pain remains. So there you go, birds love wires in the deep dark vault where the night remains. Oh, there you go, girls play alive. So I've been pulling at the strings of departing days. So
Anne, can you introduce yourself to the people who don't know you?
Okay, my name is An Pierlé and I'm a musician, a singer-songwriter. I play piano. Philippe. No, we'd leave that in. Okay. I've been making music for about 20 years now. I had a band, but at the moment, with the band again. What do I need to say more?
How many LPs? How many albums?
I think I have about 9 albums, some collaborations also. I love performing. I love performing most of all. I love singing most of all. I love creating, and recording albums is I like the singing part, but if it has to be too exact, it's not I prefer live. It's fleeting.
So you've just released a new album called Arches, which is a little bit different from the previous albums because you used church organ. Can you explain how the album was conceived and developed?
Arches is a bit of a blown up project because when in 2012 I was a city composer, the official city composer of the city of Ghent, which in fact was just a chance to use the entire city to be inspired by and to get into venues that normally you don't get into. I did a lot of projects with students in fashion and in graphical things, and was very nice. And one of the things I really wanted to do was to get into the church, because in a church you never get to climb up to the organ, and it's such a powerful instrument, and to sing in a church is so nice, because in pop music most of the time you sing into the microphone, and so you have a tendency to sing softly or go, but in a church it's a different thing, because you have this space and it gives the voice a room to develop. And that's also maybe why Arches is... The songs on Arches are quite low in tempo. That's because of the reverb and the slow return. Also because you have to wait for the sound of the big pipes of the church organ to travel and to come back, and then...
Normally you're trying to play the new album live in churches.
Yes.
At this time, tonight in Brussels at the BSF festival, it will be in the Salle de la Madeleine.
Yeah.
So how do you create the atmosphere in a usual room?
First of all, we have a very good sound technician who can adapt the set, but at the start of the project it was written inside the church, but as the record continued I made a lot of songs just on my laptop, so rhythm came into it a lot more. And also because I knew that to play only in churches it would not be financially possible, because then you almost never can play. And I very much like the fact that you have a song and you play it in different environments, and it's it influences the angle on the song, and there's quite some really poppy songs on the album as well, which is maybe surprising at first, but not so surprising because we just made the big organ sometimes in a very 80s like synthesizer. The organ is the first synthesizer. And so I think our technicians recreate the ambience, but in a slightly more trip-hoppy, rocky way. And he can play, there's a lot more room to play with effects. And in fact, the sound technician is a musician that's very often overlooked, because if he's really good, it's another musician.
So what are your projects now? Are you going to promote Arches?
Yes, Arches is being released in Holland and in France now in September. And we're looking for other countries where to play. It's a fridge. And at the moment I just took 2 months' time to make new music, and to make music that doesn't have to serve a purpose. Because I think it's very important to make new things with a lot of freedom, because otherwise you can't renew yourself, and you can't... I don't like creating... Sometimes I do like creating with a lot of pressure if there is a deadline, but I think it's very, very important to read a lot, to nurture yourself with inspiration, and to make music with some defiance, something that triggers you to try things that you never tried before, and that's what I'm doing now. And there will be an EP upcoming. It's called Cluster. It's the second part of Arches, and I guess I keep postponing it because I like to have the possibility to incorporate some more new things if I have the time and if I can discover them. But we'll see about that.
Great.